Hey, what's going on, everybody on YouTube? My name is Darren, and I am the creator of the Roomies Animated Series. And what I want to do with these videos now is I'm just going to watch back from the first episode, and it's just basically for me to get an idea of like how far I've come along with the animation, as well as there's a lot of parts of this series that they are real life events that have happened to me or people that I know, and even some of the characters are based around people that I know and the changes and that. So once a week it's just going to be that I will go through these episodes, and if you want to know more like behind how they're created and how I come up with these ideas, I hope you enjoy watching it. And if you're not interested and you just want to watch the series, fair enough. Anyway, we're going to get started with the first episode, which is moving in. And there's quite a bit to this episode that comes from previous content that I've created, but let's dive straight in and we'll get to it.
This is the last thing we need to get in before Nick arrives.
Okay. Can you lift it a bit? It's slipping.
Yeah, sure. Oh, 1 minute.
Oh!
Hello? Oh, hi, Nick. Yeah, I'm just getting the last of my stuff inside.
Right, so Mr. Daz, I've been asked before with the voice of Mr. Daz, like how did I come up with it? And I've got a lot of nieces and nephews, and like back when they was a lot younger, and I used to be messing around with them like on the trampoline or whatever. This is the voice that I used to use when messing around with them, and I used to love it. So when I came up with the idea of creating this series, naturally I wanted to use that voice because it has meaning. Like it's a voice that I've used for so long, like at different times. So I thought at first I thought Mr. Daz was gonna have my normal voice, which is Nick's voice, but then I decided that to I'm just going to use that voice for Mr. Daz because it suits his sort of character. Another thing I noticed for this, like back at the beginning when I first started doing it, there's a lot of stuff that I missed. That, like for example, with the sofa, I don't know if you saw it, but like his finger starts to go through the sofa, and even like now with the phone, you can see on the screen that the phone is kind of like implanted into his hand, so it's going through his hand. So like there is a lot of stuff that I missed, and probably still do now in all fairness with like the newer episodes. And there's there's a name, I'm gonna pin this comment on this video. There is one guy who does animations, and for every episode that I've released, it will nitpick every episode. And like, a lot of people wouldn't like this, but I actually wait for his comment to see where I've gone wrong. Like he always tells me he watches it on a 4K screen, and like this is where I've gone wrong. And I always take note. I always appreciate every comment. So be sure to check him out in the comments below and go subscribe to his channel. He does a lot of amazing stuff with animations, and he's just done a video that I watched literally 5 minutes ago, where it's a rocket takeoff. No takeoff yet, but the takeoff should be coming. But go and check out his content and subscribe to his channel. He does some amazing stuff.
Hey, 10 minutes? Yeah, that's no problem. Yeah, bye. Come on, David, we need to hurry up. Oi, stop messing about.
Okay.
Mr. Daz is turning into
So,
my dad
Nick
a
is
lot though.
moving in today. I decided to start moving all of my stuff over a few days ago, so there wasn't a mad rush to get both of our stuff in at the same time. How am I feeling about Nick moving in? Well, I couldn't sleep last night thinking what the hell have I done. Letting Nick move in just slipped out. I had so many plans for this apartment, but that's all over now. Now all I can think about is buying the best pair of noise cancelling headphones.
Right, so the story behind that is I'll put a card just here on this video. With Nick, I've done a video before I started creating the Roomies episodes, and the character of Nick, he looks completely different in it. I've recreated him completely. But the character that Nick was at work is that he just don't shut up. He just does not stop talking. And that was supposed to be the character. So when I created this series, that's how I was going to do it with Nick. The only problem is that to have someone that talks that much all the time, that quick and that fast, it gets irritating. That so the idea of doing like 20 episodes a season with someone like that, it changed slightly. But like I said, I'll put a card there. Go check out that video, and you'll get a rough idea of like how I came up with this script and how Nick was supposed to be.
That's all of it, David. Nick is going to be here any minute, so can you help him bring his stuff up?
Is he going to pay me?
Yes, I told him to give you £50.
But you only gave me £10.
Yeah, because I knew Nick would give you more. Just shut up and get ready to help. Ah, what the hell is that? Sorry, didn't mean to scare you. This is my nan.
Right, so that is my actual nan. That like she died a few years ago, but it's something that I wanted to get it into the show. And you'll notice with the newer episodes when they show the image of the back wall that you don't really see that much. It is still hanging there, so yeah, that is my actual nan.
She looks lovely.
She is the best woman I have ever known. I thought we could hang the picture in the living room.
Yeah, let me take that from you and I'll find the best place for it.
Thank you. Also, thank you again for letting me live here.
I had to change the intro. The
So
imaging
it
was
begins.
the imaging was still the same for the first season. I had to change the music. It sounds like funeral music.
Look at this. He wants me to hang this photo of this woman who I have never met over my TV. The one thing in the apartment that I look at the most. Is it bad that I want him to move out already?
Mr. Daz is
So,
my dad,
Mr.
though.
Daz, I noticed that there's not much space here for my furniture.
Well, how much furniture did you have?
Well, let's see. I have a TV, a sofa, an armchair, a CD stand, a coffee table, cups, plates,
This is
DVDs,
what I was talking about
stereos,
when
candle
Nick is
holders,
talking.
computer desks, flower pots.
Yeah, alright. I asked how much stuff you had, not to list everything you own.
Well, I still need to go and pick up a few bags of clothing. The removal men have left all of my furniture outside the apartment. Would you mind bringing it in while I'm gone?
Yeah, sure. I'll make sure there's a pot of tea and some sandwiches waiting for you as well when you get back, yeah?
Oh, thank you. You're such a good roomie.
So as you can see, Nick really never understood the sarcasm. But yeah, there's same again with the animation. There's a couple of things here. On the back wall, that's supposed to be a picture. I think it's a picture of an apple now, but yeah, that's something that at the beginning I didn't spot. It just looks like someone's taken the tiles off the wall and there's wallpaper behind. And the same with the cup, like where he's holding the cup, that you can see his finger coming through the cup. So there's little bits with the animation that I just I needed to focus more on the end product before I start rendering, just to go frame by frame to see these sort of things, because these are things that I would have spotted. I just never took the time to go through each scene frame by frame.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill him.
Okay, so this is all of the stuff. I have it in mind where I would like to put everything, but for now I just want to get everything inside before it gets stolen.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry. By the time you get back, I
Same
will make
again with
sure
the
everything
animation. You
here
can
has
see the
its
chair
place.
Okay,
on top
thank
is
you.
going through the
And
chair
don't
at the
forget about
bottom.
the picture of my nan. I can't wait to come back and see it hanging up.
Yeah, of course. I will find the most suitable place for the picture.
You're amazing.
Yeah, I know. Oh,
Right, so you're gonna hit throughout the series. You hear Mr. Daz say
yeah, I know.
quite a lot. The reason for that is that's always been my go-to. That like if I'm in work, I've done a lot of office jobs where people will come and talk to me and things like that, and my go-to has always been they'll walk away and I'm just
Yeah, I know.
so that's where it came from. Also maybe a little bit from Little Britain.
It's crap.
Where do you want me to put all of this stuff, Mr. Daz?
I don't know. Just start taking it in and I'll figure something out.
Okay. Will you help me?
No?
Okay.
Okay, this is the first thing to deal with. Now, where can I hang it so Nick will see it every day? Oh, I got it.
These were just cutscenes to put in to add a few seconds onto the videos.
I'm back. Mr. Daz, I don't see any of my stuff in the apartment.
Yeah, about that. I had a look at your stuff and it didn't really fit the decor, so I've stored a few bits in your bedroom for now.
Okay, but we are going to be using some of my furniture, right?
We'll see. Let me give you the tour.
Okay, cool.
So, this is the living room. You can watch my TV if you want, but just don't waste all of the storage because I like to record all of my programs.
What are they?
Again, that's
Oh,
my dad.
that's Joe and Lewis. I do a ventriloquist act every Friday at the local comedy club.
Now, with the two dolls that I used to on the joke sessions, I used to do a ventriloquist act with both of them, and some people enjoyed it, some people didn't. And the reason why I stopped doing it is because if you go back and watch them, the voices for the dolls are David and Nick. At the moment, I can do three voices, and you might have seen like the Paramouse things and things like I could do like squeaky voices, but I'm trying to train myself to do more voices. It's just that when I do new ones, they sound the same as the ones that I've already got. Like for example, like I've done the voice of Mr. Daz's father in one of the latest episodes, and to other people it's fine. To other people, it's the case that they're all from the same area, so they're all going to have the same kind of accent. But it, it just all sounded too similar, so I decided to stop with the ventriloquist act.
Well, I don't like to praise
And I
myself,
don't know what I'm
but
doing with
yeah,
his
I'm really
motions
good.
there.
Okay, and who's that?
Hiya.
Oh, that's David. He's the help.
The help?
Yeah, in my old place, I had to do everything myself, so I figured new apartment, new lifestyle. David is going to be the cleaner, handyman, dog walker, cook, and anything else I want him to do.
Does he live here too?
No, it's not a living position.
Will he cook and clean for me too?
Are you going to pay him?
Well, I don't know. How much does he charge?
If you pay £50 per week, that should cover your lot.
Oh, okay, I can do that.
Mr. Daz, you only pay.
Yeah, shut up, David, we're talking.
Okay.
So the idea behind the relationship with with David and Mr. Daz is it does get explained more like in future episodes where Mr. Daz helps out David and his family a lot. But the sort of relationship that these two have got is something that I've witnessed in the past. Like between these two and how Mr. Daz is towards him and how David will do whatever he says basically. So this is going based on an actual relationship that I know between two people.
My room.
Okay, can I see my room first?
Yeah, in a minute. Okay, I haven't finished it yet. I just bought some new things to make it look a little bit fancier, but don't judge me because of the mess.
Whoa. This looks like a whole new apartment. You've got the wall separating the bed area, a sofa, two TVs. Is my room like this?
It's similar, it's just going to need a little bit of decorating.
Oh, wow. This is much better than my old place. Can we go and see my room now?
Yeah, I just need to quickly pop to the shops, but why don't you take a look at your room and let me know what you think when I get back?
Okay, cool. You know what I was really worried about moving out of my last place and coming here? I've got so
Come a
used
long
to
way
having
with
all
the
that space
lighting
to
and
myself,
everything
but this
as well in the
apartment is just
apartments.
lovely. I can see that living together is going to be great.
Uh, Again, there if you look into Mr. Daz's bedroom, his chair. I don't know what's going on with his chair there. The legs have gone into the floor. But yeah, so these are things that I've started to work on quite a bit and started to spot more of.
Mr. Daz? Son of a...
Okay, so I may have lied a little bit to Nick about the size of his room. In my defence, this was going to be just my apartment. I told him he could live with me because our hours got cut in work and he wouldn't be able to afford the rent on his house. There was no way that I was going to fight over who has what room. He gets what he's given.
Well, this is not good.
Another thing with the series is when I came up with the original idea of creating it, the episodes that I was making, they were around 6 to 7 minutes. But at the time, I was looking for things to watch that I like to animate. I'll be animating on one thing and like I'll have the same on my phone through Netflix or whatever. And I got into Modern Family, and I like the concept of it where the characters will have individual interviews. So I decided to put it in my own show.
Still, it's a place to live. Oh, I need a wee.
The only thing with iClone is the walking animations. You get this a lot where it seems very jittery,
Nanny!
and that is something
This
that
is
my
not-
dad would. This is why Mr. Daz is slowly turning into my dad. That as I'm creating the character more and more, he's doing a lot more things that my dad would do. Now, Mr. Daz obviously put the picture of Nick's nan in the bathroom, but with my dad is a massive Elvis Presley fan, and what he used to do is when we was kids, we'd have photos around the house on the walls of like me, like my brother and my sisters and things like that. What my dad used to do is he used to find pictures of Elvis Presley, and he'd take the pictures of the kids out of the frames and he'd put the pictures of Elvis in, but he'd leave the pictures of the kids behind the frame. That that is where the idea of that came from, because it is the sort of thing my dad would do, and yeah, Elvis Presley can suck it.
Is it? I thought living here was going to be fun. I've lived alone for quite some time now, so I thought it would be nice to have some company when I came home from work. I didn't realise that Mr. Daz
The
was so
hand
stubborn.
motions for
He
Nicky
put the
just
picture of my
seem
dear old
weird
nan
that
above the toilet.
they've come a
Who
long
does
way.
that? If he thinks I'm going to sit back and just agree to everything, he has another thing coming. We need to talk.
Yeah, that's fine. I just want to quickly make...
No, you need to listen to me, so sit down and listen.
Excuse me, but...
Sit! Now, I understand that you did me a favour by letting me come and live here, and I know you was planning on living here alone, so I'll put the furniture that I don't use in my room in storage.
Oh, that's a...
Shut up. One thing that I will not stand for is the picture of my nana being mistreated. This is the one thing that I will display with pride, and I will hang it wherever I like. Is that clear?
Yeah, I suppose so, but...
Good. Now David is hanging it above the TV for me, and if you ever move it away from there without my permission, I will... Sorry.
Yeah, a lot of people with that part, because a lot of people watch it on mobile phones and that, so they didn't really see the hammer. So they didn't really see what goes on. Let me do this because... So they don't really see what goes on, like, on the smaller screen. But yeah, that was a hammer in the back of Nick's head.
Ow,
Bit
my
Mr.
head.
Bean in the background.
What happened?
I was hoping you could tell me. 1 minute you're standing there shouting at me, and the next thing I know you're on the floor out cold. I was really worried about you.
That's never happened to me before.
I've read about this quite a bit. It's stress related. They say that after the first time it can become more and more frequent, so as long as...
Mr. Daz?
Shut up, David.
Okay.
Nick, I suggest you go to your room and rest for a little while. You don't want them stress levels to rise now.
Yeah, maybe you're right, and it has been a very stressful day with the move and then finding my nana's picture in the bathroom. Oh, and not to mention the fact that I can't get my deposit back from my old apartment. Apparently, when the landlord went there to check that the property was still in good condition, my neighbours grasped me up about changing some of the decor when I was told I wasn't allowed to. I mean, what kind of...
Nick,
See what I'm
go
saying
to
about
your
the
room and
talking?
rest. You don't want to collapse again.
Yeah, maybe the rest will do me good.
Uh-huh. Right, David, you need to get that picture off the wall now.
But Nick will shout at me.
Who pays you?
Well, you said you was gonna pay me, but I haven't had no money yet.
Yeah, shut up and take the picture down.
Okay, but if Nick asks, I will say you took it down.
Yeah, that's fine. I wonder if Nick would mind if we put it out in the hallway. It might scare the neighbours off.
I was actually worried when I first created this episode because of, obviously it's the picture of my nan that like going around the apartment and then Mr. Dad sitting there about scaring the neighbours off. That like when my own mum watched it because it's her mum, that like how she'd react, but she was fine with it. The reaction there from Mr. Daz that like he hears Nick crying in the bedroom and his reaction is just to get angry and just think like, what the hell is going on now? Like, why ain't this man just gonna leave me in peace?
Nick, is everything okay in here?
Yeah, it's fine. I'm just having a moment.
Okay, cool. See ya.
That's my personality because if I if I went into someone and said, "Are you alright?" and they was like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just having a moment," that would be me. But like, alright, then see you later.
Oh, that's charming. What's wrong?
I don't know, let's see, shall we? When I was a teenager, I wanted to do so many things. I was going to start my own business and become a success in my work. I wanted to open a retail shop and hopefully build it into an empire. Then I was going to meet the love of my life, get married and have a bunch of children. I always pictured me coming home from work and seeing them all run to the door to give me a big cuddle. Then the wife would have a lovely dinner set out for all of us and we would all sit down as a family and eat. But look at me. I'm in my 30s, got no girlfriend, no kids, and I'm living with a man who doesn't take life seriously at all. I wanted to put my stamp on the world, but instead I'm living in a pink box room which was meant to be for a dog.
Yeah, I know.
Don't worry about it, Mr. Daz. It's not your problem, it's mine.
Listen, Nick, through everything that I've experienced in my life, there has been one thing that I've learned along the way that I will always live by. Never plan your life. I used to be like you. I had big dreams and high expectations and they led me nowhere. There were disappointments around every corner. As soon as I started living in the present and not for the future, my life turned around for the better. I know this wasn't your goal in life to be living in my box room, but you have plenty of life ahead of you. Just don't waste today thinking about tomorrow.
Thank you, Mr. Daz. I'll be out soon.
Wow.
See, I had to do that then. Like with the character of Mr. Daz, you'll find that like throughout a majority of the series, he's rude and he's obnoxious and he doesn't take life too seriously. But when it comes to the words of wisdom, dead air for him. So he has that different side to him where most of the time he looks like he doesn't care and he just does what he wants to do. But when the time does come that someone needs help and needs advice, he is there to give it. And when he does give it, it's helpful. So you're going to see that a lot through the like first series.
Today, the emotion that was shown, the openness of everything. I'm really proud of myself for doing that.
Hi, Mr. Des. Thank you for what you said, and you're right. I need to live in the moment and not keep expecting everything I wish for to come true. You're a really good friend.
Don't mention it. Come and watch some TV.
It looks really good up there, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a good spot from there.
Alright, so obviously you can see here that it says colleagues and not friends. That was the original name for it, but I wanted roomies. So yeah, that was the first episode, and like I don't know what your reaction is to like seeing me watching it, but I've always believed that if you're gonna write comedy, if you're gonna write something that you expect other people to laugh at, you need to be able to laugh at it yourself. That if I create an episode and I don't find none of it funny, I personally don't feel that I can release that video because if I don't laugh at it, no one else is going to laugh at it. So that's my mentality behind it. So every time you see me doing these videos, you're going to see me doing them and I will be laughing at them. I said earlier in the video that it's going to be like once a week that I'll release these. It's actually going to be over the next 4 weeks, that Monday to Friday I'll be releasing a new one every day for the first season, and then once I've caught up to the current episode, then it'll be once a week. But anyway, thank you all for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed watching this, and we will be back tomorrow with the Dog Has to Go episode. Thank you all for tuning in. Goodbye.